Greetings, family, and welcome to another edition of Black Talk Radio, where black media matters and black life definitely matters. Today is Tuesday, August 21st, 2018. Family, you've heard about all the violence in Chicago. As a matter of fact, this past weekend, there was another upsurge of about 48 to 50 more shootings. And with all due respect, we all know as Americans that this is totally unacceptable. At the same time, speaking on Chicago and the violence that's going on there, I like to propose and say that the people from the very top should all be fired, because these were writings on the wall way before it got to this point. It didn't just get to this point overnight. You guys have been in your jobs, sitting on your hands, doing nothing, collecting checks, meanwhile just placating people with sugar-coated words that amount to absolutely nothing. No comprehensive plan of any sort that is workable. I like to also propose, especially to the white trolls out there who have come to my channel and asked me to speak on Chicago. I'm speaking on it right now. And with that, let me just say this. Black people have always been aware of the fact that there's been times we have found boxes of guns unattended in our neighborhoods, in alleyways, in cars, in trunks of cars, unattended. Similar to the bait truck that the police just put up not long ago that we also exposed. Black people have been exposing this far too long. We've been talking about the substantial amount of guns that have been ushered into the city of Chicago and planted in these black communities. It's because white supremacy and these white racists, they have other plans with Chicago that doesn't include black people. So they are trying to make Chicago look really, really bad. And for the simple fact that our past or our last president, President Barack Obama, and his family came out of Chicago is even more the reason why the white supremacists have targeted Chicago to bring it down. Again, it's because the white racists really want the city of Chicago and they don't want black people there. So they are creating, in my opinion, they're creating a lot of this havoc, a lot of these shootings, and then turning around and blaming black people. You notice that when the white racists always come to our channels and you ask them for some receipts as far as who did the shootings, they get quiet on you? Well, they want to blame us, black people, but then when it comes to asking them to prove it, well, they can't do that. They don't have any receipts. As a matter of fact, they don't have nothing but their racist, white, privileged talking points. And we have to constantly hear it over and over and over again. And so these little simpleton trolls who come to my channel ask me to speak on it. Well, let me just say this. I've already exposed the fact that we are already aware of the police who are putting these guns in our neighborhoods. But the second point is, why aren't the police simply doing their jobs? That's a legitimate question. If they were doing their jobs appropriately, it wouldn't be getting worse, it'd be getting better. But it's because the police are not doing their jobs. And then we get people like Rahm Emanuel, who has the authority to call in for additional reinforcements, and that's all you're doing is getting extra monies to fill in your own pockets, because you are not doing anything with that. You are not making anything better. You guys don't even have a plan of action whatsoever, other than pleading with Donald Trump to please come in and help us. As if Donald Trump has the answers. So family, if you want to know why the police aren't finding these criminals, That's because when Rahm Emanuel calls in for extra reinforcements, this is what you get. You get Chicago police, Chicago's finest at that, solving crimes, especially over this past weekend when we had another record high number of these shootings. Because they know it's other police officers is why they decided to get some shut-eye. This is a clear indication as far as why the police are not apprehending any suspects whatsoever. And I mean zero. That says a lot about the Chicago Police Department. They can't do their jobs. It's simple as that. Especially when you're falling asleep in your vehicles. This picture right here, it's shameful. It is shameful when your numbers have been what they are in Chicago and you keep blaming black people for it. Shameful. These police officers here should be fired. Fired. Now, I know Donald Trump seeing this right here. He would say that they are fine men and women on the job. I'm sure. He would say these are fine citizens of the law. He would say that. So this picture was posted by Jamal Green on Sunday. And it's interesting because he put under the caption, "Must share." In light of all of the violence that happened last week, Rahm decided to deploy 600 more officers to make officers work overtime. This picture proves why that was a bad idea. Officers get fatigued, which will prevent them from reacting to crime. Militarizing communities does not reduce violence. That's why I'm running for mayor, because we need a real comprehensive plan to address violence that deals with economics, jobs, education, mental health, small businesses, affordable housing, and more. Hashtag Go Green 2019. Well, let me just say this for Jamal Green. I think he made some very, very, very solid points that we need a real comprehensive plan to address violence that deals with economics and jobs. Yes, we do. For the people in Chicago who say, well, what's the solution? What's the solution? Family, you know good and well that white supremacists and white Americans took away a lot of these programs that were helping kids, and especially inner city kids, stay productive and stay busy. They took away those programs like they take away everything else that actually helps us, and then they turn around and say, what's the problem? They turn around and say, oh, what is the issues? What's the solution? When they themselves set this up. They themselves set this up. You can't sit there and take away programs and things in place that were helping people and then take it away and turn around and say, well, what's the problem? You can't do that. You're not that stupid. I know you have low IQ. You claim that you have high IQs, and I know that you have low IQs, but it can't be that low. So when we address economics and jobs in these communities, education, mental health, affordable housing, and so much more, then we'll be getting to some of the solutions that you guys are looking for. But see, white Americans, you really are not looking for solutions at all. What it is this makes you feel better. You need to be able to have something to point your finger at. You know why? Because you guys are losers. You're losers in society. You're losers at everything in your life. And that's why you are the way you are. people who hate and they're racist, and you going around doing what you're doing out here, and you know exactly who you are. You alt-rights and alt-wrongs coming out in all the cities with your hate and disgust and filth. You are the reason why America is not great at all. And you, while you're sitting there pointing your finger at Chicago, you are no better at all. You are just like these creatures right here, sleeping on the job, right? Oh, I see that's a black man. He's just as bad. You, all of you in blue, including you black folks that are in the Chicago Police Department, shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. So stop wondering why it is that the police can't get the job done. It's because they're off sleeping somewhere. If they're not in a donut shop or coffee shop near you, you just might find them off sleeping somewhere. Maybe that's why Chicago is having such a bad rap, because they're not doing their jobs. I've mentioned this on a previous video also, so I'm not going to keep ramming that down your throats. You get the gist. This picture speaks 1,000 words. I don't have to say much. This is Guru at Black Talk Radio. Thanks a lot for joining. We'll see you in the next video exposing even more. This is Guru. Thanks a lot. We'll see you in the next video. Peace out. Rahm Emanuel in this clip that you cannot hear, unfortunately, is saying that it's a moral issue in these ethnic communities. If you don't sit your behind down somewhere, people are mad at you, and actually, you should be fired, Rahm Emanuel. I cannot wait until they get rid of you and then start coming up with the solutions. This man right here, Reverend Gregory Livingston, flat said that Rahm Emanuel is a liar. That's what's led up to where we're at now, because he's flat out a liar. So this guy too is speaking ill of Rahm Emanuel, and he knows where this lack of leadership is coming from. And here comes old coon ass, this coon. People got to be held accountable for their actions. I know that people put guns in our communities, but let's hold these other people accountable that's finding the guns. What can we do? Fred Waller, he's speaking some common sense here. I'll let you check it out on your own, but these guys, they don't want any solutions. No, I don't think so. Not when you're found sleeping in your cars, when there's an all-time high shootings over the weekends and over the past few days, and here you are caught in your car sleeping. Chicago, shameful. That's all I could say. Shameful. What are some of the suggested solutions to the violence? Gang conflict mediation. How about looking over your police departments? Job programs, that's a good solution. Hiring efforts to boost police ranks. No, that's horrible. No, this right here is not a solution right here. I'm sorry. You guys have way too much going on now, and you see your police officers hiding out in their cars sleeping. No thanks. Anyways, family, this is Guru at Black Talk Radio, where black media matters. Thanks a lot for tuning in, and don't forget to tune in to the next video. We'll see you then. Peace out.